Hey folks, I'm Ray Latif with BevNet and Taste Radio here at Expo West 2023. And of course, this person needs no introduction, but she is Padma Lakshmi. Padma,
Hello.
thank you so much for being with me today.
My pleasure. Nice to see everybody. Nice to be here. It's my first time at Expo West.
Your first Expo West.
Yes.
You haven't had a chance to walk the floor because you've been swarmed, I'm sure, here at the booth,
A little
yes?
bit, yeah.
Very cool, very cool. We're at the Dahi booth. You're an
Yes.
investor in Dahi.
I'm an investor in Dahi. I'm a brand partner. I'm a brand ambassador. I am completely embedded, hook, line, and sinker.
Amazing. And Dahi makes amazing products. Tell us a bit about your involvement with those products and some of the things that you're exhibiting here at the show.
Sure. Our main product is our lassi, and that's what we're incredibly proud about. I am Indian, and I've been, making and drinking and eating yogurt my whole life. So has my whole family, and for thousands and thousands of years, India has a very well-developed traditional yogurt culture, and 1.4 billion Indians can't be wrong. What I love about lassi is how delicious it is, and dahi is the Hindi word for yogurt, so that's what we've named it after. And it has 15 billion probiotics, more than any other lassi or drinkable yogurt on the market. We also have a specific strain of live strain that's proprietary, that's from India, which really helps optimize and harness the power of all those other probiotics to help them work better. So a live strain is much more powerful and effective than, say, a powdered probiotic, and it just penetrates better and it's better for you. It also, this drinkable yogurt has much lower sugar than anything else on the market. It has about 60% less sugar. And so, as a mom, I want to feel good about what I'm giving my family every day. And literally, we drink it every single day. It's the first CPG brand that I'm really partnering with, and I don't give my name to a lot of brands. And, again, I'm an investor. I'm not just brought on to kind of sell the product. I really believe in it. I've been involved in the R&D. We're developing new flavors. We have a 7-ounce that we just introduced, and we'll have shelf stable later this year. We're very excited about it. And there's also a lot you can do in the recipe space. I mean, I love to drink it. It's really filling. It's very nourishing, but it's also yummy. But this plain lassi is something that I use in cooking all the time. So I was on the Today Show earlier this week, and I made a recipe for chicken tikka masala, and instead of using heavy cream, I used plain lassi, and it was delicious. And every anchor on the Today Show kept asking me about it. They're like, what's that? Wait, what is it? What is it? And I think, Americans just don't know about it yet.
Right.
But if you're trying to be healthy, if you're trying to have a yogurt smoothie or trying to drink kefir, this is like a million miles more delicious, more flavorful, less chalky, and better for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So I am familiar with lassi, and I've been drinking it for a long time, but I love the flavor. But you've been talking a lot about the health benefits and the nutrient density of lassi. What is resonating most? What are you trying to really get across in terms of how you're promoting the brand and talking about it? Is it very much deliciousness first and functional benefits second, or is it the other way around?
I think it's both in tandem. Honestly, we're at the Natural Foods Expo, right? And so I think everyone is here because they're trying to eat healthier. They're trying to be more mindful of what they're putting in their bodies, giving to their families, cooking with. I'm here to tell you that eating healthy and eating delicious are not mutually exclusive. I'm here to say that this is a brand that's traditionally made, that is great for you, but above all is going to be a pleasure to eat and drink every day of your life because it's so yummy. To me, I don't make the distinction. I think for a food brand to come into my life and take a permanent space up in my diet, it has to be both good for me and delicious. Otherwise, it's not going to last. And I think for most people, that's the same. Like, I defy you to have a glass of this lassi and any other drinkable yogurt, whether it's a big brand that we know or something small like kefir, and just do a blind taste test. I'll do it with you right now. I'm very confident. I wouldn't be standing here if I wasn't.
Yeah, you said you have lassi every single day.
I do have it every day.
Do you have it in the morning, or is there a different day part use when you're consuming it?
I have it, I'll tell you how I have it. I have it in the morning, like before I go to the gym, because I don't like a heavy breakfast before I work out. And then when I come home, it's not lunchtime yet, I'll often have another glass. Or else I will freeze it and make, desserts out of it. We have popsicle molds that I pour it in. Or I'll also use the plain lassi, like I said, as I did in the Today Show and in other recipes. I'll also have it as a dessert. Sometimes we just put a little granola in it and have a bowl of it. Sometimes, we add chopped fruit to it. Sometimes we just have it, out of the jar, out of the fridge. There's a million ways to enjoy it. And I literally cannot keep it. Like sometimes, I have it in the fridge, which I have it all the time, and we're doing recipes for it. And I literally have to yell at my daughter and be like, please don't finish it because I need it for this recipe that I'm making a video of. And
Yeah.
I literally have to put it in the back of the fridge so she doesn't finish it. I'm not kidding. Like that's how I came onto the brand because I could not keep it in my fridge long enough.
You're screaming, little hands, stay away from our lassi.
Yes, keep your little hands off my big lassi. Yeah, exactly.
As you mentioned, you're not just an investor, you're an ambassador, you're as much about, the face of the brand as much as anything else. When you are promoting it on Instagram and talking about it on social media, on the Today Show, elsewhere, how do you feel like your role has evolved since you joined the brand?
Honestly, it's not very hard for me. I don't feel like I'm promoting it, as you say. I just feel like this is a great product that's come into my life that I don't have to make from scratch, and I want to share it with my followers. When I was on the Today Show, I didn't even say the words dahi. I just said lassi. I didn't mention our brand. I didn't whip out a bottle of it. I just used it in a natural way to show people how much they can gain from it. And I think that is the sign of a good brand when you don't have to shill it really hard. You
Right.
just have to say, look, this is how I use it. This is how I enjoy it. Try it for yourself. And it's the same attitude I have when I make those little Instagram videos to show people, how approachable and how easy cooking can be. I think we're all leading busy lives. I think we want to eat eclectic, delicious food. I think we want to be mindful of putting only good, healthy things in our body. And I think that's hard with how busy we all are with kids, with work, with our personal lives, whatever. And I think lassi is a great thing to have in your fridge. It's been a great thing to have in my fridge. And as I said, I get exposed to every food product in the world. Everybody sends me everything. And this product is one that I really believe in, and it's very easy to talk about because I honestly feel like I'm doing my followers a favor because it is really versatile and delicious.
It's really helpful for your followers to know about lassi and how to use it in their daily lives. Retailers, however, are that first, they're the gatekeepers, so to
Yeah,
speak,
they are.
of your product. Are you out there in the front lines talking to retailers about
Yes.
why they should be stocking your products?
Yeah, I am. I don't go on every sales meeting, but I've had Zoom calls with major retailers. I've gone and done store visits because I want to see how the market is responding to our product, how it's doing compared to other products, because it's also, I need to know how the consumer is experiencing it and how, I also want to be open to how our retailers are selling and what their feedback is. That's all important to me. I shop for my family and I look for the same things that they do. So, just the last time I was in LA, I went to Sprouts and I surprised the ladies at Sprouts and did a little store visit. Whenever I can, whenever I'm in a grocery store, I always go to the refrigerated dairy section to see how our product is doing, to see how people are liking it, how also, the people on the ground in the stores are really important because they are a wealth of information and I'm just there to listen and learn from them.
Are
And
you
it's been an
rearranging product
education.
on the shelf? Like when you see it, if it's a little disjointed, are you actually moving some of the product yourself?
It's funny because I was supposed to go to a store and I went earlier than I was supposed to go. And I went and I couldn't find any and I was really upset because it wasn't there. And the lady told me they took it off the shelves because it was selling so fast that they didn't want there to be none when I got there, but I got there early.
Uh-oh.
So that's why they took it off the shelf because it was selling out. And, she was worried that when I was supposed to come in, it wouldn't be there. So that's good news. That's the best problem to have.
Absolutely. Now, I feel like there's a lot more interest among mainstream Americans for ethnic food.
Yeah.
And when I think about Indian food, it's really some of the best food you'll ever eat.
Yeah.
Has this given you license to really introduce ethnic foods, more specifically Indian foods, to more everyday Americans?
Look, this is something that I've spent the last 20 years of my career doing, and I think the most exciting aspect of the food business, the large food industry, is that ethnic food business, because it's where all the exciting new flavors are introduced. It's where most of the action is. Food is different, and things don't just trickle down, they actually trickle up. And so that to me is what's most exciting about exploring food in America today. And I kind of put my whole career on it with Taste the Nation, and that's exactly what we do. We go out and we meet people where they are in their communities, and we hear how they eat. And there's a lot for everybody to learn about that. And I think what's great about American culture in general is that we're able to have contributions into what American food is from all over the world, and that's why American food is so exciting, is because, American food is so exciting because it incorporates all of those world flavors into it. I mean, it's what interests me the most,
Absolutely. Now, I assume when you're going to walk the show floor in a bit, you're going to hear a lot of pitches about joining as an investor, as an ambassador, and I have a feeling that not many things are going to move the needle for you. But, if something does catch your eye, what would it take for you to get involved with, say, another CPG brand?
I mean, it would be very hard for me to get involved with another brand. I think this happens so organically, and it's so part of my DNA and a part of how I eat naturally, whether or not the cameras are on or not, that for another CPG brand to penetrate that would be really difficult. It would have to be additive. I mean, you can look up my track record. I don't really endorse a lot of things. I don't get involved. I'm very risk averse. And pardon my French, my bullshit meter goes off really easy when people try to, when I see other celebrities doing stuff, and I don't want to be like that. Like, I feel like I should be the advocate for the working parent who's just trying to feed their family well and deliciously and healthily. I try to put myself in their shoes and say, well, what would help that person? I'm coming at it more from that point of view because I'm a parent. I'm a home cook. I'm not a chef. I'm a food writer. I've spent my life being a food journalist and writing recipes for average Americans and trying to help them cook on a daily basis. And so being involved as an investor with Dahi is kind of a very natural extension of that, if that makes sense.
It totally does. Last question, you've been involved with the brand for some time now, and there's a lot going on in terms of sort of the next stage of development. Are you involved in, the R&D process,
Yes.
new product development? And if so,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you trying to come up with next? What are some of the things, if you can tease, what's next for Dahi?
Well, what we just came up with is the guava, and believe me, we went through a lot of different unmarked bottles of, this much percentage of guava, that much percentage of guava, mixing it with something else, cutting the tartness, but no, don't cut it back too much. So I am involved. I mean, I let the scientists at Dahi do the heavy lifting, but then when they've got the product ready for me to taste, they send it to me, and I give them notes on it. Sometimes I just pick up the phone because it's easier to talk than write long emails. And we just go back and forth like that. I'm very lucky in that they're super serious about the science of making this product as wholesome, as natural, and as delicious as possible. And so for me, I'm just making sure that we balance that with taste and mouthfeel and usability on a daily basis.
You hosted a dinner at Sema in New York City
Yeah.
last summer. It was
Yeah.
phenomenal. And I could feel your passion for lassi and feel your passion for supporting ethnic food across America. And it's just as palpable right now. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me
My
today.
pleasure.
I really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure. And you have to go back to Sema. They just got their first Michelin
I
star.
I saw that.
Very happy for them.
Very well deserved.
Yeah, it's the only Indian restaurant in the city that has a Michelin star.
Really? I have a feeling that might change.
I think so.
Yeah. Once again, thank you so much, Padma.